Alright, now that you've finished cutting the hinge slots on your elevator and your rudder, we're going to want to bevel those. Now to bevel those, I like to bring this out about 1/8 of an inch, and then with a sharp hobby knife, I just cut it about a 45-degree angle, and all you're doing is you're removing a small amount of material. In this build, we're going to attach the control surfaces with CA hinges, but we did want to go over with you an alternative version of strapping tape. Alright, strapping tape is by far the simplest. We're going to start by beveling our control surface. Lay our straight edge down the side. Cut it about a 45. This is just same as before, same as we described earlier. We're going to want to bevel both edges of the control surface. Alright, and there are a couple of different ways you can run a full length of strapping tape the entire length of the control surfaces. Once you match those two together. Or you can use little pieces. Now on the back side, what you'll want to do is you'll want to open the control surface up all the way, lay it flat, and then lay your tape right on it, crease it down. That way you won't have any binding issues. Because if you attach it while it's laying flat, if you don't run it in there just right, you'll get some resistance against it. And there you go. Alright, now we're going to assemble the fuselage. The horizontal portion of the fuselage is going to rest into these notches here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cut a relief in the back so that we can slide the horizontal stabilizer in a minute. Now, I like to take a straight edge and draw a line straight across these notches here all the way to the front of the fuselage. What that'll do is once you put the two pieces together, this will give you an alignment. Because you'll see in just a second when we start gluing, it can be quite easy to get these a little crooked, and you want to make sure that this is absolutely straight down the center. Alright, there you go. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to slide these two pieces together, like so. You're going to want to make sure you interlock these back all the way to the front. And just align these, make sure everything lines up. Make sure there's no trimming necessary. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to apply some adhesive. The way I like to start is I just pull the horizontal portion of the fuselage just so I can expose my line here. And I just start with a very thin line. Hot glue. Go ahead and get that set. Again, you can use the desk spray or the canned air dust remover upside down and set it if you wish. Makes things move along a little faster. And I move down one section at a time versus gluing the entire thing. That way you can hold one section because you want to make sure this stays nice and straight. For the most part, the foam sets nice and square with the laser cutter. They do a great job for us. But it might not be a bad idea if you've got a square handy to go in there and just make sure that the two pieces are perpendicular. Alright, with our fuselage complete, now we're going to install the wing. I'm going to flip the model upside down, and with the carbon spar facing up, I'm going to push it right in the slot. You're going to want to bring this notch here, I'll bring it back here, you can see, bring that notch there into the foremost portion of the plane there, and that'll allow you to slip the back end. And once you get the back end, you can slide it back. There's going to be a little bit of space at the front. but it is locked in. I'm just going to apply a bead of glue right along this crack here on the top of the wing where it joins to the side of the fuselage. Press and hold those two together. Just like that. Like I've mentioned before, I use a low temp hot glue so you can work with it with your fingers, and also it dries really fast. It does have a short working time because it will harden on you quick, but it's a lot easier to work with. And there you go. Control surfaces, we're going to start by sliding in our 4 CA hinges. Either side. Do it on the aileron itself or on the wing. It does not matter. And then again, to keep these from pushing all the way in, just make sure you pinch as you install each of these. Starting at the wingtip. Going to work our way all the way down to the other end. Alright, just want to make sure everything moves nice and free. Now we're going to add our glue. Alright, I'm using a foam safe CA thin, and I'm going to use a small CA tip. You don't have to. These are pointy enough when they're brand new, but if you've got one that's cut down a little bit, you might want to grab you a couple of these little tips. They're nice. They just get down in the crack a little easier. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we've got our ends lined up. Move this around where you can see it here. Make sure you've got the end lined up. And then we're going to open it up just a hair so we can expose the hinge. We're just going to apply a little bit of glue and allow that to wick down. Apply a little bit of glue, allow that to wick down. And we're going to work our way all the way to the other end here. I'm going to add some glue to the other side. Alright, we're going to install our elevator, our horizontal stabilizer, the exact same way. You do want to make sure that you do that next, because if you install the rudder, it is going to be impossible to get the horizontal stabilizer in. Now we're going to install our 9mm motor mount. First thing we're going to do is we're going to check, make sure that everything lines up. Slide it all the way down. Alright, everything checks out. So what we're going to do is we're going to back it out just a little bit. See here? Add a little bit of hot glue behind it. And push it down to seat it. Make sure you don't have any that comes up through the little circle there. That's clearance for the rear bearing. Alright, that wraps up the construction of our Grayson Hobby Sukhoi. Make sure you check out video number 2 where we install the electronics. Thanks for watching, guys.